Welcome, everybody. My name is Sophia. I'm a 10th grader from San Francisco, California, and I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Launchpad.
My name is Philip Meng. I'm a sophomore from Hong Kong, and I'm also a co-founder and co-CEO of Launchpad.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sophie Liang. I'm a 10th grader from Carmel, Indiana, and I am COO of Launchpad.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. We're so excited to show off the immense progress that our startup teams have made over the past few months. Today is our inaugural Launchpad Pitch Day, and you'll hear from all 7 teams as they present.
We'd like to start by giving a huge thank you to our advisory board members. Our advisory board members have been supporting us for the past year. Over the summer, we met with them individually to receive feedback on our curriculum. We've also updated them for the past 6 months on how we can improve our process, and each and every one of our startup members met with an advisory board member to receive personalized feedback. Please join us in giving a huge round of applause to the 11 advisory board members that are here judging with us today. Joining us virtually, we have Mamta Chamarthi, Kirsten Glantz, Andrew Jaffoni, Jonathan Lowe, Jeff Liu, Patrick Peterson, Chris Sakalakis, and Mr. Walcott. And joining us in person, we have Douglas Chow and Freddie Martignetti.
I just wanted to quickly introduce myself and say hi to everyone. I'm Freddie Martignetti. I was Andover class of 2002. I used to sit over there during all school meetings. It's pretty cool. But it's so nice to be back on campus and to see all the wonderful things that you guys are up to here. I'm originally from the Boston area. I live out in San Francisco, not far from Sophia, where Sophia grew up. I've been in venture for the last 13 years. I'm founder of a firm called Nava Ventures, which is a Series A focused fund out in San Francisco. And so hopefully when you guys are ready to take on some Series A capital after you graduate from Andover and consider college, we'll be ready for you.
In addition, thank you to Mr. El Alam, our club advisor, who has helped us and guided us with continued support throughout this entire journey. Also, thank you to Mr. Kraus for helping us with all the logistics for the chapel. Thank you, of course, to all 7 of our startup teams, 37 students who have worked tirelessly over the past few months to present all their work today, and all of you here supporting and cheering on our teams.
To start, we'd like to talk briefly about our mission. Philip and I came up with the idea for Launchpad last year in our winter term painting class. We were both very interested in entrepreneurship, but we realized that mainstream high school programs did not allow students to create real startups and were highly theoretical. We identified the need to interact with real customers, gain real traction, and build real products. So that's how Launchpad was born. Launchpad allows any high schooler to create a real startup and have tangible impacts in their communities.
Over the summer, we developed a 6-month curriculum taking inspiration from Techstars and Y Combinator's startup school. It takes place in 4 parts. The first part takes place from September to October, which is ideation and validation. We went through brainstorming activities such as doing empathy interviews and sending out surveys. This was all to determine the startup idea that startups wanted to pursue. Our second phase was developing MVPs, minimum viable products. This took place from November to December. Next, we had part 3, iteration and traction. This involved going out and really meeting the customers that they were trying to sell to. And our 4th phase took place a month and a half ago and has continued until today, which is pitching. All of this has culminated into Launchpad Pitch Day, the event that you're watching here today. In addition, we hosted 3 guest speakers. The first was Bianca Gates, the co-founder and CEO of Birdies. Her topic was developing a multi-million-dollar shoe empire. Our second guest speaker was Jared Friedman, group partner at Y Combinator and co-founder and CTO of Scrib.com. He gave a presentation about evaluating and generating startup ideas. Our third guest speaker was Sadak Cervantes, dubbed one of Fast Company's top 100 most innovative people. He gave a presentation and a workshop on MVPs.
Now let's talk a little bit about what this event will look like. we have 7 startup teams and 37 student founders who are so excited to pitch to the advisory board today. Each team will pitch for 5 minutes, followed by 3 minutes of questions from the judges. Judges, to ask a question, you can raise your virtual hand or in person if you're here with us today. Finally, the judges will have 2 minutes to fill out a judging rubric for each individual team. At the end of all the startups who have pitched, the judges will rank the top 7 teams, and the top 3 teams will be dubbed the most outstanding companies of Pitch Day. And finally, before Philip introduces our first team, I want to emphasize that this Launchpad Pitch Day is not the culmination of 6 months of work, but rather the stepping stone from our Launchpad incubator to our Launchpad accelerator. Judges, your feedback is not just for this individual event, but it will largely determine what all the startups will do to accelerate and further their work in the future accelerator program. We already have a meeting scheduled for next week on Tuesday for the startups to apply all the feedback that they've learned and continue working on their MVPs. And we plan on meeting weekly for the rest of spring term to continue this great work.
And without further ado, let's introduce the first startup team. Conference is an online scheduling service that simplifies peer tutoring. Team members are Lena, Sean, Alyssa, Drew, and Cam.
Hey everyone, we are Conference. We are a group of students who's created an app that streamlines a peer tutoring system at our school. Conference is a place where education will meet convenience. So, meet Tara. Tara is currently going through her chemistry review packet, and she is struggling. She does not know how to answer the questions. And so, she decides to email her peer tutor. She emails him once, twice, and again, but still, there is no response. She's alone, and she does not know what to do. Students like Tara clearly need more academic support, and 75% of PA students value personalized one-on-one guidance from peer tutors. But similar to Tara's situation, 70% of PA peer tutors and tutees struggle with coordinating times and locations to meet. We are the solution. Conference is the place where personalized academic support will meet convenient scheduling, and we do this with 3 main features.
So what are Conference's 3 main features? The first is a tutor database that allows students to browse through various tutor profiles. By learning about their different learning styles or teaching habits, they're able to find the perfect tutor for themselves. The second is a built-in Calendly system that has a Zoom link embedded in it that allows for tutors and tutees to seamlessly create appointments. And the third is a simple messaging system that allows for clear and quick communication. This is the perfect in-between of the informality of text and the formality of email. So as you can see, this is our MVP. You can click through different subjects, and it leads you to tutor profiles. And you can see that there's a Calendly link. And by clicking on their link, you can very easily schedule an appointment. It's that easy. Our main source of revenue will come from the ads that we are planning to implement on our website in collaboration with local businesses. We are confident that this will work, as the Philippian has been using this model for several years and it has proven to be very successful.
To begin, we are partnering up with the Academic Skills Center. They manage the peer tutor program on campus. We have them alongside us because they have more authority and are actually in charge of the peer tutors. Our peer tutor program is enormous. 21.7% of students are already signed up to be peer tutors. 29 students have signed up for the conference beta so far. We sent out email invitations to our extensive list of peer tutors and immediately got responses. Target market. First, we're going to start on the local level, work and incorporate the entire student body. Then we're going to extend to the US's 35,000 boarding schools. Eventually, we're going to hit the 17.3 million high schoolers in the US.
As Drew mentioned, we're going to start on the local level. We actually have a proof of concept here in Andover that is the Phillips Academy Writing Center. The Writing Center already uses a similar system where you can efficiently find a writing tutor that matches your needs, and then you can easily book a time to meet and schedule. The Writing Center only appeals to students who need writing help, unlike Conference, who appeals to all students with different subjects. Conference stands out amongst our competition. As you saw in our MVP, we have a user-friendly interface and easy scheduling with our calendar feature. Conference also offers personalized guidance with one-on-one meetings, and we are course-specific. Conference is also school-specific and affordable, as we won't be charging the school or the students. Looking into the future, in the second quarter of 2024, we plan to send out the conference beta survey to Andover students and gain at least 50 responses. We also plan to finish coding our MVP and gain more traction using the ASC. In the third quarter of 2024, we want to market our product on social media and gain a wider Andover audience. Once we have that wider Andover audience, we assume that more tutees and tutors will sign up. In the fourth quarter of 2024, we want at least 50 tutees and 50 tutors at Phillips Academy to be using Conference. Once we've established ourselves in Phillips Academy, we plan to move on to other boarding schools with similar peer tutoring systems.
So why are we the team to do it? We are the team to do it due to our diverse range of expertise. Me and Drew being the business analyst, Leonard here being the outreach manager, Alyssa being the business manager, and finally Cam being the technician. Together, we make an efficient and effective system that is bound to succeed. With the launch of Conference, let's make peer tutoring more efficient for all. Thank you.
We now have 3 minutes of questions. Please raise your hand either virtually or in person.
First of all, great job, guys. That was terrific. Not easy to go first, particularly at the first annual presentation. So you did a great job. One thing I was curious about is as the total addressable market slide, and you talk about expanding past Andover, moving on. Right now, you want to monetize it through advertisements, through local businesses. In the future, is the idea that you would continue to monetize it through local businesses, or would you like to start charging people for tutoring services or rather taking a take rate, so to speak, on payments for tutoring services?
Yeah, so in the beginning, we also had a lot of different features in mind. So we were thinking maybe we could have a premium plan where we would have maybe tutors put their notes online and you would have to pay to access those. So I think that what we're getting started with here is just very the baseline. And right now, our main focus is to make it very accessible for all people. But once it becomes very extensively used, we do plan on creating premium features and so on.
Yeah. Also, when we extend to the other U.S. boarding schools, we can set up a separate transaction with them, just like how us students have access to Britannica, New York Times, all these other outlets.
Wister, you had another question?
Yeah, my question just relates to the type of testing you've done, either with the target market or beta testers. What kind of testing have you done? What kind of feedback have you gotten?
So far, we've sent out our beta survey and we've gathered responses, and over 95% of the students we sent our surveys out to actually said they would be willing to do the beta form for Conference. So we plan to launch our MVP first, and then once we gather some feedback, then we can continue to improve it. And it's very accessible for feedback because we are launching our product in Andover, so we interact with Andover students daily and can quickly improve our products.
We had one more question from Mr. Liu.
Hey guys, just want to reiterate, great job on both the presentation and the product here. I had a quick question just regarding kind of the network effects that you guys are trying to build through this product. So as you increasingly move from one school to other schools, are you thinking of expanding the feature set to allow tutors in one school to tutor students in other schools? Or is the intention of the product to really focus on localized liquidity within each school so that you have to essentially build out the two-sided marketplace in every single school scale? Or does it get more powerful as you include more and more other boarding schools?
We built Conference on our school scale, and there's 100 other boarding schools that we know in the New England area with the same scale. But if that happens to be true that we have to modify it, we will.
Mr. Peterson.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there an incentive for the tutors? Are they paid or some other compensation?
They're not paid, But because being a peer tutor is really good for college applications, that's kind of their that's why they're incentivized to do it. So yeah, they're not paid, but that's why most people tend to do it. And obviously the 2Ds go to the tutors when they need help.
I mean, that's also another thing. Like a lot of tutors, yes, it looks good on college application, but they also just want to do it to be a help to other students. And that's like really a part of the Andover community that is often overlooked, just like helping other students academically. So yeah.
Great, thanks.
Thank you so much, conference, and we'd like to introduce our next team. Thank you so much. Could we have a round of applause? Next up, we have Gym Spot, a gym partner pairing service.
Hi, we're here today to pitch Gym Spot, your fitness matchmaker.
So the problem we're trying to solve is that high schoolers need gym motivation. According to our survey conducted amongst Phillips Academy students, 47.7% of students said they lacked the motivation to go to the gym. However, 49.3% said that having a partner would help motivate them.
So, Gym Spot is your fitness matchmaker. Some of our MVP features include personalized fitness data, which we use to pair the buddies together with. We're also hoping to implement a workout progress tracker, as 40% of our respondents said it would give them even more of an incentive to work out. So this right here is a type form. Then this is the way we primarily collected the data, which we then used to pair up the gym buddies. Here you can see a mock-up of our app where users can sign in or sign up and create a profile, answering some basic questions about what their goals are and where they're located. Here, users can either swipe left or right, indicating whether or not they want to work with this person or not. We also included a chat feature where users can coordinate a time and a place to meet up and work out. So some of our traction so far has been over 150 followers on Instagram, 15 signups, and over 4 successful pairings.
So the way we want to make money is through a freemium plan. With the free plan, you'll get the basic features that we mentioned before with pairing and workout tracking. But with the premium plan, we want to offer more ways for people to connect with the gym. We plan to do this through workout and diet plans, workout streaks to stay consistent with your goals, and challenges to push you beyond your limits. We think that $5.99 a month is a reasonable price for this service because competitors like Peloton and Strava offer similar features at a much higher price.
So here's the market. So primarily we want to focus on, or currently we're focusing on Phillips Academy gym goers with around 500 students. Then we would scale up to all Massachusetts high schoolers with around 100,000 gym goers. And then finally, the total addressable market would be all US high schools with around 7.5 million gym goers. So going to the gym is a growing trend among our generation. As according to our research, social media can influence and motivate people to go to the gym. And there's been an increase in gym equipment amongst kids our age. We're more than a third likely to go to the gym. And already we're 11% more likely to exercise than the general population.
So why are we the best option in capitalizing this growing market? We're the only service to offer gym-focused pairing that uses personalized data to make those pairings, and finally offers a variety of workout options. So the first company that we found when researching competitors was an app called GymBuddy. GymBuddy offers pairing, but they only do so based off location and not using user data. This makes their pairings less effective and less personal. Other fitness apps that come to mind, like mentioned before, are Strava and Peloton. They don't offer the in-person pairing that we do, that we feel is so important to staying consistent with your goals. Finally, there's Instagram, which isn't a gym-focused app at all, but people use it to connect with people in general. This isn't specific enough to fitness for our purposes, which is why we feel we are the best candidate to take advantage of this market. Looking forward, by the end of this school year in Q2 of 2024, we want to get 50 successful pairings and 100 Typeform users. This is so that over the summer, we can get a lot of user feedback and reiterate our app and develop an app to be launched in the App Store. So that by the start of the next school year in Q4 of 2024, we'll have the app out, and we want to get 50 more successful pairings through the app.
And finally, our team. We're the best team for the job as we all understand what it means to work out with partners and have people motivate you to your limits, as we're all heavy athletes.
Thank you, and let's make GymSpot a reality.
Thank you so much, GymSpot. From now on, we'll be doing 3 questions per startup team. So we'll start with Jeff Liu.
Hey guys, I just wanted to ask a quick question, which is once a pair has been matched and they found each other, and so suppose that it goes very, very well and they like each other and they like working out with each other, what is their incentive to keep using the app? Are there other features that they can keep using that'll keep them on the app as opposed to churning off of it?
Yeah, again, so like we mentioned in the business model slide, we're offering a bunch of other features other than just pairing. And beyond that, the intent of our app is that sometimes you can't work out with your friends because of scheduling issues or whatever else. They're just not an option. So we want to optimize it so that you can find someone even when you're in a rush or your partner isn't available at the time. So that's why we think people will stay on our app and continue to use it even after they found their partner.
We also think that a lot of people would appreciate working out with someone new and meeting new people. So the social aspect is important too.
Next, Andrew Giffoni.
Hi guys, great job. In terms of sizing the market, I see you're focused first on the Andover and then high school communities. Have you thought about expanding to the general population, or would there be any other key features you need to develop in order to engage that community?
Yeah, we definitely want to expand to other places outside of high schools as well as colleges, because that's easy to have localized gyms. But then in terms of the general population, we would need to make sure that the gyms are very localized so people can work out within their community. So, which we already kind of have, because we can, in the survey, we can ask what gym they go to.
And finally, could we have a question from one of the members attending from the San Francisco conference room?
Yeah, hi guys, very exciting. And my question is for any of the team members who actually used the early product, and did you find a match there, and did you actually go to the gym with that person?
So we haven't signed up for the product ourselves because we feel that would skew the data. But we have made 4 successful pairings so far, and we feel that is good traction and a good sign for things moving forward.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, GymSpot. Could we have a round of applause?
Next up, we have ExploreX, an AI tool that helps students streamline the research process. Please welcome Severe, Ethan, Keita, and Jesus.
All right. Hello, I'm Ethan.
I'm Severe.
I'm Jesus.
I'm Keita.
And this is ExploreX. We sent out a survey to Phillips Academy Andover students, and we found out that they were overwhelmed by research platforms. This is because 1, there's too much information. 2, there's too much note-taking required. 3, they cannot find sources. And 4, most importantly, it takes too much time. We also found out that students spend a lot of time completing their research assignments. Most students spend 1 to 4 hours completing it, but some students fall in the 5+ hour range, which is a lot of time.
So what we plan to do is to combine the 3 main components of research: citations, note-taking, and access to databases all into one centralized web application, ExploreX. In ExploreX, you'll be able to have access to all the databases that you need, as well as the citations and notes for your specified sources, which will be created through the use of large language models. Here, you can enter a prompt asking for the citations and notes that you need for a specified source. With the help of OpenAI's ChatGPT, we're able to both effectively and efficiently find the citations and notes that you need for your sources. So, in comparison with our competitors, we're able to have a combination of bibliographies, note-taking, summarizations, access to databases, and the use of large language models all into one central web application. On the other hand, sites like Noodle Tools and EasyBib mostly focus on just creating bibliographies and citations. Then we have sites like Evernote and Grammarly, which mostly focus on note-taking, which also have the access to large language models. These sites also are able to copy and paste certain texts from sources and put them directly into your notes as well. Lastly, ProQuest is mostly just a site to find the sources and databases that you need. So, the global academic research market is around $537 billion, and the global reference management software market is $319 million. What we plan to do is to reach out to the 31,000 New England boarding school students and match them with our ExploreX plan.
Yeah, so let's move on to like my favorite part, the financials. I know everyone loves it. So we start off with the free plan to sort of attract members and to subsidize like sort of that problem of not gaining revenue. We will have ads, which will be estimated at $1,000 per month at the sort of release of our website, but that will continue to grow as the viewership of the website grows as well. And then moving on, we sort of go into the student plan and the class plan. And these are sort of for like the normal individualized users, like someone buying ChatGPT 4 for their family. But the sort of class plan, and you can't see it there, but sort of like an institutional plan for like maybe a K through 12 school district will be mainly based off of consultation. And the reason for this is we need to decide a fair price for our consumers and ourselves, because the more users we have, the more internal cost it is on our servers to run ExploreX. So we really want to achieve a fair price for everyone and make everyone happy. Yeah, so for attraction, we did send out a survey pretty recently, which got 24 responses. One of our main concerns was transitioning from a freemium model to sort of a paid model and getting people to actually pay that initial $20 per month that we're looking for. But fortunately, we found that over 50% of these survey responses are people that are willing to pay, which is great for us. And then additionally, something to note about the survey is that the students that took the survey were from a variety of areas on campus. This means that not just the STEM area, but people who would seem to use research more, but also art students and music students as well. And this is really important because as Ethan was talking about, that sort of market of boarding students, we want to make sure that encapsulates all types of boarding students and not just sort of niche STEM students. Now let's move on to our sort of future roadmap. And the really important thing to see here is by Q4, we will have everything ready for launch. And then once we sort of launch, we will have an initial 100 users, which is estimated based off the surveys that we've recently sent out. And that number is sort of a minimum, which is subject to grow, which is great news for us. And then once our product is sort of released, we're planning to just scale the business more and more and reach out to other boarding schools. So let's talk about our team and why we're really the people to lead ExploreX. So Ethan is great at coding and has been like the CEO and someone that's been forefronting this whole plan of ExploreX. He really has a lot of ideas and is a great visionary for our product. I'm pretty apt in sort of finance and marketing, so I'm very confident that I can find not just individual users, but also users on the sort of institutional level. Jesus is great at designing and helped a lot with our UI UX to make it compatible and easy to use for many different customers. And Kita helps a lot with our planning coordination to keep everyone on track and sort of just help out the whole team where he's needed.
All right, to conclude, ExploreX aims to streamline the research experience of students. Through a centralized web platform, we plan to introduce the tools of citations, databases, and note-taking into one place for students. We hope to reach students all across the world. When students need research, all they'll need is ExploreX. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ExploreX. Now we're open to 3 questions from the advisory board. Right, we have Doug Chow to start.
Great job, guys. A quick question. as you think about making your platform unique, oftentimes it's the content that you have on there that's going to make it unique. So have you thought about outreaching to specific content sources so that that can be exclusive to your website service?
Yes, we have actually sort of considered that possibility. And just like PNet uses in like many K-12 schools, as someone that went to public schools all my life, they sort of have these large databases and mainly that their libraries sort through. The OWL library at PA sort of has one as well. We plan to incorporate starting with the OWL's library and sort of reach out to other schools that may have similar or more databases to sort of help our internal servers and make sure that like everyone gets the answers that they are looking for through ExploreX.
Yeah, so for instance, like right now, the OWL is able to have access to things like JSTOR, and these are all like huge libraries of sources and like articles that we essentially need for now for history and English departments. And we're able to do the same thing with ExploreX, where we'll be able to partner with these large databases and then include them in our plan.
Awesome. Next up, we have a question from the San Francisco conference room.
Hey guys, thanks for your presentation. Just curious what feedback you've gotten from the outreach you've done other than people being potentially interested in signing up to be a beta tester.
Wait, could you repeat that question again?
Yeah, my question is, in the outreach you've done to your potential customers, what feedback have you gotten other than people telling you they're interested in being beta customers?
Yeah, okay. So we also asked the question on what percentage of who was willing to pay for such a service, at least for the individual student plan. So for the exact numbers, I believe we found out around 47% were not willing to pay for such a plan, but then around 53% were totally willing to pay for a student plan that we included when we described our ExploreX like individual student plan. And then still, we also do have a freemium plan, which will have the use of ads, which will generate around $1,200 per month in revenue. And that will be that for the case for just a free model.
Perfect. And would any other judge like to ask a question? All right. Thank you, ExploreX.
Thank you.
Up next, we have 6 Degrees, a novel networking app for high schoolers.
Hi, I'm Nikki,
Hi, I'm Henry.
and we are 2 students here at Andover who are seeking to reconnect campus with 6 Degrees, a networking app for high school students. So meet Sophia. Sophia is a new 10th grader here at Andover, and she's settling in great, but she is still struggling to make connections. She'd like to meet new people and try new things, but there is no existing platform for that.
And Sophia is not alone. Andover students have a strong need for greater connections, but they feel like their connections are limited here at Andover. So they'd be willing to try something like 6 Degrees.
And if you're a student like Sophia, don't worry, we got you. Let 6 Degrees find your next connection.
So 6 Degrees centralizes connection making in 2 ways. First, 6 Degrees takes all the data you enter on your classes, clubs, activities, extracurriculars, and more, and centralizes it, sparking connections at the click of a button.
Secondly, 6 Degrees is school specific, and its structure can be customized to the social and extracurricular structure of each school. For example, Andover has a very particular way of structuring its free and lunch periods, and so we adapted the platform to fit that. And so here is a video of what making a 6 Degrees profile looks like and the features. So first you enter in all your basic information like name, your graduation, dorm. Then you can enter in all your classes, and we have a consolidated list to avoid typing errors that would mess with the website's interfacing. Then sports and clubs, which are equally as important. That's why we included them so prominently on the website. Then after that, you can create your profile. You can navigate to your classes tab and see who else are in your classes. You can also use our search function to search up a person and see all their sports, classes, and clubs.
Since she started using 6 Degrees, Sophia is now able to gain advice and wisdom from older peers, as well as meet new people and classmates. With 6 Degrees, Sophia and campus are reconnected. So our business model, we will be using a freemium plan. We have the basic features are free, and then extra features we are developing, such as a birthday page and a connections map, will cost $3.99 per month. We are also going to license the product to schools and school districts once we have tested and implemented our product here at Andover.
Currently, we have 16 students testing the 6 Degrees beta product. They are also currently providing feedback, which we are working on integrating into future versions of the platform. So we are initially hoping to start with expanding 6 Degrees to our 1,150 person student body here at Andover. And we are hoping to do this so we can, grow user awareness and a user base, and so we can test our product and receive feedback.
Once we attain proof of concept here at Phillips Academy, we'll then expand to schools across the country.
Traditional social media is not school specific enough. It lacks information on aspects of a student's life. Standard directories such as PANet here at Andover are geared towards academics only and are not user friendly. And Saturn, a school-oriented social media app that is relatively customizable, still has trouble adapting to Andover's schedule. Our survey results back this up. Over 70% of Andover students are looking for a school-oriented social media platform that also centers around social connection.
6 Degrees has the best of both worlds. Customizable to your school and private with our email verification process, 6 Degrees has everything you're looking for in school-specific networking. So our future plan is in this quarter and over the summer, we will continue to gain traction and develop our product.
Then in Q4 of this year, we hope to release our defining feature, the Connections Map, which will enable users to see the Andover Connections web as a whole and find anybody they'd like on there. We will continue releasing new features and updating the app in the first half of 2025.
Finally, in Q2 of 2025, we will expand to other schools and bring our product to new markets.
My organization and communication skills, Henry's coding skills, and our teammate Matt's UI skills, along with our perspective as high school students here at Andover, make us the perfect team to make 6 Degrees a reality. So in conclusion, students need school-specific networking apps that allow them to connect through their classes and extracurriculars. 6 Degrees directly addresses this problem by creating a digital community where students can share and view each other's academics and extracurricular interests in order to reconnect our campus.
With 6 Degrees, Sophia and other high school students will be connected. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 6 Degrees. We'd like to open the floor to any questions, starting with Jonathan Lowe.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I guess my question is, so after people get matched in the first place, how do you keep them engaged? Let's say they only have three periods a semester. Once they've filled those 3 slots, like how are you going to keep them using the app? And I guess the second part of the question is, if you're looking to charge $3.99 after, what's the motivation for the students to keep paying or start paying as well?
So you're right that it will be most helpful. Okay, thought I was gonna sneeze. It will be most helpful at the beginning of the term, but we know there's definitely a need for things in the middle of the term. For example, there are always new tests, homework assignments coming up that students struggle with and need help. There's always this situation where, for example, after a sport, you want to go eat with your friends. And so these social situations, which 6 Degrees is oriented for, pop up all the way throughout the year. And so it's not exclusively only a beginning of the semester thing, but we have found that 6 degrees can be used for the middle of the term.
In addition, course selection happens after every term where students choose new classes. And since you can see which classes students are in, if you're looking to take a class, it's very easy to see which students have taken it in the past and ask them for advice.
Do we have any other questions? Kirsten Glantz?
Great job, guys. What was some of the feedback from the beta testing that you found most surprising or interesting?
So in the beta testing, we found some things such as mostly little errors. One of them was the class listing. The way we had it was not exactly like right. We had it like the list wasn't exactly done properly. We also found that there were a lot of just UI issues that made the website seem unappealing. And so we went in and fixed that.
And finally, we have a question from Freddie Martignetti.
Thank you. I want to commend Kirsten. That was a great question, particularly from someone who went to Exeter. Okay, so thank you for a great presentation. I was hoping you could explain to me. I'm a little bit old school. When I was here, it was very different. There was no social media. There was barely any internet. One of the interesting things about social media is that it can connect people from all over the world to one another. You could be in Andover, you can be connected to someone in Indonesia. Here, everyone's kind of cohabitating. And so a lot of the people that you might have similar interests with, you might already be sitting next to in a class or on the practice field with, playing your sport that you might list as an interest on the site. So help me understand why 6 degrees is so important. Is it about connecting people that might not otherwise find one another? And if so, how does entering the interests allow for that sort of thing to happen?
Yes, so Andover, as you know, is a very large campus, especially for lower classmen and younger students. And as many people as you meet here, there are always interesting people who you don't know, who are always, it's always great to meet new people. And 6 degrees really addresses that by allowing you to search for different extracurriculars, different classes, and find people who are just awesome to know.
Just to kind of back up the stats here, I think I know about I talk to about 30% of my grade, which means there are a whole nother 140 students out there who I can definitely make connections with and who are out there willing to enhance my Andover experience.
Thank you so much, 6 degrees.
Next up is Sell, a secure platform for students to buy, sell, trade, and rent items.
Hello, my name is Sean.
And I'm Willie.
And we are the founders of Sell, an e-commerce app that helps students buy, sell, and trade.
Meet Sean, a Phillips Academy student looking for lacrosse gear. During tryouts, Sean decided to change his sport from tennis to lacrosse, but did not have any gear for the new sport. Sean first searched on different online commerce applications like Amazon, but soon realized that it would cost him significant time and money to purchase all the gear online. Sean quickly needed a solution.
Meet Jeffrey Lim, a passionate lacrosse player and a lacrosse player with an abundant amount of gear. He is looking forward to sell all his gear, but he has nowhere to sell them. He even creates an Instagram account to promote his listings, but he has 0 sales in 5 months.
Although there are a few online marketplaces where you can exchange used items, they're less accessible and reliable for students. Since all students can trust is the company that is connecting the buyers and the sellers, students are vulnerable to fraud and other issues when dealing with strangers. Considering this low accessibility, students need an easier solution.
Through our app, student sellers can upload their products to their school community, and buyers can easily access these products and buy them for their needs.
Now, let's connect them. Initially, the buyer and the seller weren't able to find each other, although they were extremely nearby. Sell helps
bridge this small but vital step so that they can find each other and make the transaction they want.
Let's take a look at an example of a company called Carrot Market. Carrot Market is one of the biggest e-commerce apps in Korea, helping buyers and sellers buy, sell, and negotiate in person. They were able to rack up over $1 billion in transactions yearly while maintaining the #2 position for e-commerce app in Korea.
However, although the amount of money that was going through the app was increasing, their profit actually proved to be negative. And this was due to their business model, which centered around advertisements of small businesses rather than taking transaction fees.
We found a similar company that completely eliminated Carrot Market's biggest problem, OfferUp. OfferUp's revenue was based around transaction fees, more specifically, a $2 minimum fee and a 12.9% of seller sales price. Based on our research, we concluded on a 5% seller sales price, which is substantially low compared to other companies, and possible advertisement. Our Instagram is our first step towards our business. We receive DMs from sellers and connect them to possible buyers. We already have 4 product listings and 1 successful transaction in only 1 week.
Once we foster a strong user base within our Instagram, we hope to transition our business into a website or an application so that we can offer a seamless user experience, along with the elimination of 100% manual work we do on the Instagram. We differ with our competitors in the fact that by constructing a student-friendly marketplace, we will offer a safe, affordable, efficient, and intuitive experience that will be unparalleled with any other competing online marketplaces. Considering the size of the market, we have already begun our business within our community in PA with around 1,150 students. Once we reach substantial audience within our community, we will then expand to all boarding school students, which encompasses around 35,000 students in New England. Finally, we hope to reach 17.3 million high school students in the US.
Our future roadmap is to first increase our Instagram platform, more specifically, more transactions, and by the end of the year, expand to other boarding schools in the New England area. Our team consists of myself, Sean, Willie, and Kai. We come from a junior boarding school, which is really advantageous for us since we have connections all around the New England area, which will help us grow as a business.
In summary, Sell will be the key connector between buyers and sellers in school communities. By forming accessible and reliable online marketplace for students, we will develop and foster a solid user base.
Let's help more people like Jeffrey and Sean.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from the advisory board? Mr. Lowe?
Hi, thank you guys. That was a great presentation. So I was just curious, are you going to keep this all at a local school community level, or would you offer products from one school to another? And if you do, then how are you going to figure out the logistics of getting it across the country?
I wasn't really able to comprehend the question.
Which part? I mean, do you want? So, no, I was just curious if, the items that you're buying and selling will always remain within the Andover community, or I guess the Choate community or the Exeter community, and if you're going to start offering, things from Exeter to Andover students. So that was the first question. And then the second question is, if you are going to offer things from Exeter to Andover, who's going to pay for transporting that, a few hours?
Oh, so we probably weren't too clear about what our main app was about, but
it's more specifically in your own school, not rather than like school to another school. So like transactions happen, like if it's Andover, I complete a transaction with another Andover student, not with another Choate or Exeter student.
But if we are able to build the website and the application and a wider range of audience can use it, it will be possible that students in schools nearby can make a transaction with each other if they are in a nearby distance that makes sense to them.
Mr. Liu?
Hey guys, great presentation. With a lot of these kind of C2C kind of used marketplaces, historically something that's been very difficult for them is actually extracting that take rate fee that you've kind of like put as your main business model, largely because once users connect online, there's the capability of meeting each other offline and cutting the marketplace out of the actual transaction. And if you don't hold the transaction, it's hard to actually take the fee. So just with your business model, I'm curious how you guys are going to potentially navigate that problem. Are you going to sit in the middle and take inventory, or what's kind of the plan there?
So we came up with two different approaches to this problem we also recognized with a C2C business model. First one was a little negative, where we didn't want, but we would give people that were going around the system some kind of punishment or demerit so that they would prevent doing that to constantly use the application. And the second approach is much more positive, is to develop more of a seamless payment method within the website or the application so that it would be more inconvenient to go around the system and try to pay with cash or other methods.
Hi there. Just a question for you guys as Andover students. Do people use Craigslist today? And did you look at that behavior? Since you're trying to potentially replace that with a for-fee service. And just, do you know if students are using Craigslist within the Andover community today?
There are much more other apps that are being used in Andover. For example, like Facebook Marketplace or like other apps they actually use to like order new products. But most of the problems they see is that they're quite expensive, there's shipping time, and it's really unreliable to like go meet around with another person who might be completely out of your age range, and going outside of campus is also a possible risk of danger. And that's why there's not a lot of like uses in those apps in schools like Andover, but our app solves all of these reasons why some apps might not be used as much.
Makes sense. A curated community. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Elevate, a platform that provides concise 5-minute summaries of daily headlines.
Hello, my name is Ashley.
My name is Sahana.
My name is Annabelle.
And we are the co-founders of Elevate.
So we started off by surveying Phillips Academy students, and we learned that 54% of them believe that staying updated with the daily news is extremely important to them. Yet, academic workload and busy schedules cause 80% of them to not achieve this goal. As such, we need to provide students a convenient way to engage and access daily news.
Enter Elevate, our solution. Elevate is a platform that provides high school students with daily 5-minute news summaries curated by AI. So we sent out a survey to the Phillips Academy student body to see where the students' interests were at. And we compiled 5 of the most popular topics, which are economy, politics, culture, health, and government. Also, almost half of our respondents said that the reason why they can't engage efficiently with the current news is because of this overwhelming amount of conflicting political sources. And so we identified 3 sources that each assume a different political stance: the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and BBC News.
It is said that over 50% of high school students and college students get their news from social media.
So right now, we're using Instagram as our beta program. With over 80% of high school students having the platform, we wanted to see how teenagers in our community would interact with Elevate and also gain traction before we set up our final product as an app. So this is our original Instagram template that we used with 10-word headlines and 50-word summaries for every single post. However, we sent out a feedback form to our engagers, and we learned that a lot of people wanted to see more diverse content, more category sources, and also more engaging posts. Cut to our improved MVP. We wanted to implement this feedback with the same core components, the 10-word headlines, the 50-word summaries. However, after implementing this more engaging version, our user count skyrocketed.
Additionally, our team works every day, and so far, we've accounted over 400 followers on Instagram, and on average, each of our posts amasses 1,500 views. Additionally, we have 2 current plans in place. Obviously, we have our free plan that's going currently, and sooner or later, we are going to implement our premium plan. This is different because the summaries will now be based from more subscription-based sources. So this will be more detailed and have different variety, and this will help these people. And this will cost $3 a month or $36 a year. Additionally, we plan on getting funding from advertisements in the form of pop-up ads that can be clicked on for summaries. And we hope that companies targeting Gen Z and teenage audiences can utilize our resource to grow their company and ours at the same time.
Okay. As for our initial target audience, we want to begin here at Phillips Academy. As students of Andover, we're easily able to interact and engage with our peers as well as faculty to promote the usage of Elevate. In addition, we're also able to receive direct feedback from our peers so that we can make Elevate a more accessible and available app for usage. Our next audience would be high school students across the US. By using Instagram as our main platform, we want to eventually go viral by using school-related hashtags and doing collabs with other accounts and users who do similar things like Elevate. Eventually, we want to target all high school students and teenagers across the world so that they are able to receive the 5-minute daily news summaries quick and easy. In addition, we've identified 2 factors that differentiate Elevate from our main competitors, which are the level of engagement in terms of the user usage, as well as the diversity in sources and topics. We've identified a couple of our competitors here, but particularly the Dispatch and Ground News we've placed in the upper left corner due to the way they've structured their summaries. We've identified that students struggle when it comes to reading huge chunks of text due to its like sort of wordy and like dense feeling that they initially get. And the way that Ground News and the Dispatch has formatted their surveys, they have huge chunks on their platforms, which is why we've placed them sort of on the lower scale for engagement. As for So Informed, their summaries are very short and are posted on Instagram, which Elevate also does, but they only target a specific sector of news, specifically politics, which means that their users don't have the same exposure to the different categories and topics that Elevate has to provide. And that is why we have Elevate on our upper right corner. As for our future roadmap, by the 3rd quarter of 2024, we want to reach 1,000 followers on Instagram. By the 2nd quarter of 2025, we want to publish our finalized app in an actual app store so that people are able to purchase our premium or freemium plan. Based off of the feedback we got, one key important thing was that they wanted to see more categories and a diversification of topics and sources and things like that. That will come with an app and with the premium version, including a gamification feature, which will encourage our users to further use Elevate beyond just like a daily, task. And as for the 3rd quarter of 2025, we want to reach around 300 users on the app, which we know is possible based on our Instagram growth.
And why us? So the Elevate idea started because we thought that we ourselves did not stay up with the daily news as much as we wanted to. So Annabelle's content skills matched with Lily's graphic skills. She's not here today, unfortunately. Matched with my coding and technology skills, and then Ashley's coordination skills for the project. We come together to make the app team that can implement this solution to its best format.
In conclusion, high schoolers are in need of concise and brief news summaries.
And Elevate provides that 5-minute daily worldwide news.
Elevate is the optimum choice for high school students because of our diversity in sources, categories, and because of our appealing content.
Thank you, and let's help more high schoolers stay updated.
Thank you so much, Elevate. The first question will be from Patrick Peterson.
That was really great. It's come a long way since we talked a few months ago. I'm wondering what kind of progress you made on going from kind of the manual curation of the stories, taking a lot of time, to how far you've made in terms of streamlining that process and less time at keyboards for all of you with your busy studies.
So when we originally met, when we had the original startup, we actually had to read the articles ourselves and then we wrote them by hand. And so we've made a little step up since then, and that has been using the use of artificial intelligence and AI to help curate them. We still find the articles on our own, but we think that this is currently the best solution because it is hand curated and we're able to put together the best articles possible.
Also adding on to that point, in the future, with our app development, we will also have AI curate our articles and the top headlines.
We have any other questions? Yeah, Freddie?
Thank you. Great job. I'm curious, in the future, do you envision allowing for personalization, or is the idea that you want everyone to be seeing the same content?
Yeah, so in the future, right now we don't have that option because we're using Instagram as our beta program. But the reason why we want to use an app is because it offers us so much more freedom. And one of those features is being able to include a preference selection so that users can select the categories that they want, and then Elevate will be tailored specifically to their needs. And we also have that to some extent with our Instagram platform, because the 5 categories that we are including are the ones that are most wanted by high schoolers in our community. But in the future, as we grow our audience, we also want to include a preference selection feature.
Any final questions? In that case, thank you so much, Elevate.
Next up, we have our final startup, Seed, a financial literacy app for high schoolers. Please welcome Gian, Elise, and Jen.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Gian.
And we're the 3 co-founders of Seed. Students need better financial literacy resources. The numbers are clear. 79% of students consider financial literacy to be a top priority. However, 80% of them have very limited financial understanding. If so many students consider financial literacy to be a top priority, then what is stopping them from achieving this goal? Right now, currently, there are a lot of resources that exist. However, they are inadequate. Whether through the complexity and jargon or information overload, these resources are not appealing to the high school audience.
This is where we come in. Seed brings Wall Street to Main Street, and Seed does that through 3 key features. First, Seed is gamified, which makes the app simple and low burden. So Seed has short lessons with a maximum word count of 25 words per slides and 5 question quizzes at the end of each lesson. Seed also offers gamified features like streaks, lives, and coins. Application. Instead of merely explaining concepts, Seed relates the concept to the real world so that the users can understand them better. And Seed does that through a budgeting planner and tracker, along with a stock market simulator. Diversity of content. At the end of each lesson, Seed offers recommended lessons and modules with a wide range of topics so that the users can learn whatever they want to learn. So another important aspect of Seed is that it is free. While it is completely free for now, we plan on implementing a premium option of $6.99 per month, which is half the price of our competitors. Seed can also advertise banks and brokerage platforms seeking for new users, given the fact that Seed has a young audience.
Next, we have a demo video of our MVP. Users start in the Explore section where they get to choose from modules and submodules. Within each module are lessons that are formatted to be quick and easy to learn. And following each lesson is a brief, engaging way for memory and content retention.
Just in the last month, 30 people signed up for our beta program. Beta testers expressed their satisfaction with Seed's bite-sized lessons, and some expressed their desire for a quick and easy way to review. And in response,
we have recently added a new quiz feature to Seed. Seed's current target market is the 1,149 students here at Phillips Academy. Eventually, we plan to scale our platform to the 35,000 US boarding students and even to the 17.3 million high school students in the United States alone. The coming forth of the digital age meant that students are seeking new forms of education. The global M-learning market is forecasted to hit $230 billion in the next 5 years.
So our proof of concept for Seed is Duolingo. Just like us, Duolingo has short bite-sized 5-minute lessons and is also gamified. And it's also interesting to note that Duolingo has attracted a young user base addicted to gamification and a simple yet engaging interface. Our two main differentiators from our competitors are high engagement and low cost. So while Bloom is high engagement because it has short lessons, it is also high cost because it has a subscription of $14 a month. While books are medium cost, they're really low engagement, making them unattractive. Then we have Investopedia. Investopedia is free, but it is really a text-dense format, and it's only a website, and websites are much less accessible than mobile apps. Then we have Fidelity Youth. So Fidelity Youth is free, but it only has one engaging feature, which is the chance to open a teen brokerage account, but it doesn't actually teach its users about financials and investing, for example. So Seed here finds the balance between high engagement and low costs.
Looking forward, we aim to have more than 500 consistent users and upload 2 new lessons weekly by the end of Q4 of this year. And we are the perfect team to do this. Jen, Gian, and I are in a unique position to think from the perspective of our target audience and also interact directly with our market. And furthermore, the lack of financial resources for teens is an issue that each of us faces and are passionate about solving. Thank you, and let's plant the first seed.
Thank you, Seed. We'll start with a question from Mr. Lowe.
Thanks for the presentation, and I could not agree more on how important this mission is. I actually feel pretty strongly about it as well. So it's great to see young minds innovating on this problem. So on the comparison with Duolingo, just a quick question. So naturally with languages, there's a right and a wrong. So there's only one way to say, bear in French or some such. But with financial literacy, it actually, I do feel strongly that it is quite bespoke to the goal of the individual. So how you save or what products you use or the things that are going to be most relevant for you is going to be really determined by how much money you have, how much you're making, your current, portfolio assets. I'm curious, when you, apply the lesson approach to students, are you going to implement any kind of tailoring around their needs or situations?
Our curriculum is formatted in a way that we give the basic understanding to our users, but then they take that and apply it to their own lives in order to personalize it for themselves. So let's take, for example, our module about investing. Within each module, we have submodules, and an example is investing with impact, because we've identified that the rising generation wants to make a social impact, and we can do that with our investment portfolio. So by teaching them the basics of how they can apply their knowledge, they can personalize our curriculum to their own life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? We'll start with Pat and then Ms. Glantz.
I'm wondering, focusing on the high school community makes a lot of sense, but have you considered if you have thousands or tens of thousands of high school students, not having them cancel their subscriptions when they graduate, as opposed to waiting 4 or 5 years when they might have a lot of disposable income for Seed to monetize? Basically extending the subscriptions beyond high school.
I'm so sorry, could you re-explain the question, please?
Sure. Right now you're focused on the high school population, which seems great. Have you considered carrying the subscription forward beyond high school so you continue to have them as customers when they're in college and then afterward gainfully employed?
Yes, we actually have. Our MVP right now, which is our minimal viable product, is tailored towards the high school market because this is how we like interact most directly with. However, we acknowledge that it isn't only teens who need gamification in order to stay engaged, but also adults. So in the future, we're looking to expand our market as well.
Awesome. And then we'll have a final question from Ms. Glantz.
Thanks, great presentation, guys. And just, it sort of picks up on Jeff's question, but where are you sourcing the content from? Because it's, again, not just, sorry for the echo, binary, yes, right or wrong, but there's so many different versions of explanations and for financial concepts. How are you navigating that?
As we were building the curriculum, we made sure to have different sources. So we have many our sources are from trusted websites. So for example, we have Investopedia as a source and multiple other news outlets or just from databases. And so for each lesson, we make sure that we have a wide diversity of sources and really trusted sources, but we write everything by ourselves. So as you could see in the video, every questions, everything that is written is written directly by us, but just the content in itself is from other like trusted sources.
And really quickly building off of that, we want to make sure that our information that we give is as credible and as reliable as possible. So as we expand our team in the future, we want to have someone whose job is to check that these resources are unbiased or provide a diverse and accurate information.
Amazing. Thank you so much to Seed and all 7 startup teams for your amazing pitches. All right, so I trust that each judge had the opportunity to fill out the judging rubric. Now what we're going to do is we'll have 10 minutes to put all of the judges in the breakout room. And then again, you'll use that red link at the top of the spreadsheet to submit your individual final rankings. We hope that this breakout room will allow you to discuss with other judges your insights before submitting your final ranking.
Hello, everyone. The time has come. Before we announce the results, do the judges have any last pieces of general feedback that they'd like to give?
Mr. Martignetti.
You can call me Freddie, but I just want to say how inspiring. All of the judges were saying this in our little sidebar, but I thought it might be useful for you guys to know just how inspiring everybody was today. Starting a company is really hard. Starting a company when you're 15, 16 is really, really hard, let's say. So pretty inspiring work, guys. As an alum, it just makes me feel so happy and proud to be associated with wonderful young people like you. And I also want to make sure to say a special thank you to the Launchpad group for putting all of this together. So I just want to, whatever the results are, I want to say congratulations to all of you. Everyone did an excellent job, and a special thank you to Launchpad.
Yes, can we give one final round of applause for both the judges and the startup teams?
Thank you for your feedback, Freddie. Next, we're going to hear from the San Francisco conference room.
Yeah, I just wanted to commend everyone for doing a great job of understanding and defining the problem. It seems like everyone surveyed students to understand it, but also did a good job just understanding what the problem was. And I think that's the foundation of building a good business. And I think everyone did a good job with that.
Yeah, and I think by implication, we should congratulate the Launchpad organizers here, because it looks like all the teams at least had a starting point on their slide template, which was super helpful, and those were the right slides. So good job on that guidance and the research that went into that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. If no other judges, if all of our judges have provided their general feedback, we're going to announce the winners. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about what the winners receive as their prize. So over the summer, we pitched Launchpad to a design agency based in Chicago, Illinois, called the Massive Change Network. And they were generous enough to donate us $1,500 in prize money to our teams. That means that the top 3 winners will each receive $500 in funding. But before we allow them to spend any of this money, they are required to fill out a detailed budget proposal on how all of this money will go towards their startup operations.
When your name is called, please come up to the stage, take a certificate, and we'll take a photo. In third place, we have
Explorex. Right, Explorex is just going to come up and take their team picture. Congratulations again.
In second place, we have
Seed. Congratulations, Seed. All right. And in first place, we have Elevate. Amazing. Congratulations to all startups again. Can we all come up for a team photo? And we would love to have you as well.
Thank you so much to our Zoom judges. You're free to leave whenever you want. We really, really appreciate all of your support throughout this process. We also have some merch and a few things coming in the mail for you, and that will all be detailed in a follow-up email.
Yes, so if you're comfortable, please share your address with us in the least creepiest way that sounds, because we'd love to share our merch with you.